Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is October 10th, 2023. We are off on a whirlwind adventure yet again. So I am headed to KITECH. We have a day full of interviews. We're working on finding a new CAD Drafter to help us with the... Oh, my door is open. Doodle-doo-doo. Oh, it's the back door. Kids. Silly kids. Anyways. And then I've got a lunch meeting with a good friend of mine, Robert, and we're meeting a new acquaintance who is in marketing. So that should be a ton of fun. And there may be some synergies between what we're trying to do and what they're doing, and so it'll be fun to see what that looks like. So we got that coming up, and yeah, it's gonna be an eventful day. The geopolitical world continues in its upheaval, which I have no idea what's gonna happen there. It's crazy to think that we share time with 7 billion people on this planet. So like today is October 10th, 2023 for all of us across the world. And so what makes it to the news dominates everyone's thought processes and what they're thinking and working on, and it makes it really, I think, challenging to make your own decisions because you are not seeing the whole story. We never see the whole story. We only see what people choose to allow you to see. Like even with what I'm trying to do with America's Holding Company. Unless it comes out of my mouth, no one knows what I'm planning. Just like with your business or your employees. Unless your employees know or say something to you about they're happy, they're not happy, any of it. Unless they tell you, you don't know what they're thinking. You don't know what they're planning. It's only what people give you permission to see or know through their system that we make judgments on. And that, I think, is one of the hard things about living in society today. Because of the internet, we can access thoughts and opinions from across the world at the flick of a finger. And then we can make judgments and decisions and opinions based on what we see or hear or learn that's going on. But it's only because someone chose to put that content out in the first place. And so as you look at people who have amassed a massive following, people like Elon Musk, Taylor Swift, Mr. Beast, no matter what they do, no one knows their whole plan. Even their insiders, their closest confidants. There's no way to get someone on the exact same page as you without spending I say 24 hours a day. Let's say 8 hours a day, just strategizing. Because they have access to so many different resources that they can direct and control based on their following. They don't even, if Taylor Swift or Elon Musk wanted to accomplish something and needed their fans' help, they wouldn't even have to pay them. They could just say, hey, I need someone to help me do this. Does anyone have that skill set? And people will come work for them for free just to be a part of what they're doing. And I think that's part of the true value of time, is you can never give your brain away. You can rent it to people. You can let them direct it or try to direct it. But at the end of the day, it's incredibly challenging to get rid of the power once you have it. Almost impossible. I think that's one of the reasons term limits has been so hard to get through our governmental system, is because term limits is literally saying, oh, I'm going to have power for this long, and then I'm going to give it up on my free will. Or not again on my free will, because that's what the rules say. And people don't like that. So I think there's a lot that's going to be happening very, very rapidly in the global environment, and everything that happens in the global environment because of technology can spread to every corner of the world. Like I've seen tons of protests, and I saw a video about a protest in Sydney, Australia, where people were chanting "Gas the Jews." Ridiculous stuff. Unbelievable stuff. But they're obviously support the other side, the Hamas side. I support the Israelis. Now, even though I say that, I am not sure why this war is even being fought. I'm not sure why these lives are being lost. I mean, I get that war's been going on back and forth for generations, but why? And I think a lot of it comes back to leadership. What is leadership trying to do? And so then I look at our leadership with President Biden. How often do we truly hear from President Biden? How often are we as a nation actually being led by President Biden? Sorry. Because most of the time, I believe we are being directed. President Biden is directing us through his policies. I think Trump, I think Vivek are doing better jobs leading without the title than Biden is with the title. And leading by showing, as an example, hey, this is what we need. This is where we're going. This is how we're getting there. What we need right now is not more politicians. I believe what we need right now is more entrepreneurs. It's more small businesses willing to go out and take a risk, and really willing to build a small economy to take care of their employees. Let's not try to change the system as a whole. Let's change the system you work in. That's my goal with America's Holding Company. I've joined KITECH Automation. That's become the system I work within. And now I'm working with all the employees to create an ESOP to purchase part of KITECH Automation as well as part of a couple other businesses. For all of our retirements, we're changing the system, not for everybody, but for everyone who's involved with us. And that's everyone's choice and everyone's option. We can all create our own system, and we do every day. You decide where you go to work. You pick what system you work in. You pick the logo on the sign, which is an amazing freedom. So make sure you're working within a system designed to take care of you, the individual. You, the cog in the wheel, working the system. That's what we need to take care of. Because the people working the system are what create our entire economy. I love doing these video recordings while I drive around. Look at how many people are out there driving. Every car that drives past is another individual. It's another person off doing something. And I'm not telling them what to do. You're not telling them what to do. Now, someone is, but every one of these people pays taxes. We are all on the same team, whether we want to admit it or not. We're all fighting for the life of our dreams. That is, I believe, the human experience. And so as we go through life and we're making these decisions and figuring out how to build and live a fulfilling life, it's up to us. Who do we want to bring along with us? Who do we want on our team? Because it's our choice. It's always our choice. And I think people let their power get stolen by blaming external influences, by blaming external parties. But at the end of the day, you are completely free. You are free to make any decision you want to make. That's part of living in America, is that freedom. It's not freedom from consequences. It's freedom to choose and live with the consequences, which I think is amazingly powerful. I love being an American, and I love our country. And I know we're going through a hard time. When our founding fathers signed the Declaration of Independence, they knew what they were getting into. As 250 years ago, I believe we are going through a very similar time in history right now. It is going to be, what happens next is going to be crazy. But it's our choice in how we deal with it. And that's why instead of looking at the next 2 years with fear, I look at it as a blessing. Right now, my oldest is 10. So Scarlett's 10, Tristan's 8, Nora is 6. In 2 years, they'll be 12, 10, and 8. I'll still be taking care of them. I would much rather go through this depression, this recession, when I can truly take care of my kids rather than them being out on their own. Now, at least for me, now is the perfect time to deal with these issues because my kids are still young. They still have a chance. It's too late for most adults, and that's okay. It is okay. But we can set the next generation up for success with the decisions we make as a society today. That's why I do everything I do. Is I'm going to set my kids up for success. And the best way to set my kids up for success is to create a better system for all kids to operate within. And that's why I'm doing it. That's why I'm doing everything I do, is to set a better system for all of us. Because we can build the world however we want. The future is unwritten. Every day we write history. Every single day. How long that history lasts changes. Like everything, the history being written right now in Israel will last for hundreds of generations. It will go in history books. It will become a cornerstone of this moment in society. I don't know that I would say World War III is coming through this, but it could. It sure could. So history is written every day, guys. It's written with every decision you make on a day-to-day basis. If you look at the story of the founding fathers, it happened over years. It happened over, let's say, 10 years. The fight with England, getting to the point where they're ready to fight, getting that frustrated and fed up, all of it took 10 years. And then getting Congress to decide on the Declaration and getting it all signed and everything. It took a boatload of time. One of the reasons is they did not have technology to bridge the gap between what we know in one corner of the world with what we know in another corner of the world. And that's why I believe this time it's going to be so different. We are literally watching what's going on in Israel on our phones. We can see it at a moment's notice. We can see what's going on across the world. And so wherever, if you think about pickpockets, one of the strategies they typically use is they misdirect your attention away from what they're trying to do. And it could be argued that's what the news and government does with us as citizens. They direct our attention wherever they want our attention so they can make decisions that fall in line with their long-term strategy. Makes sense. But is it good for us as a society? I don't think so. I do not think it is. So, I've got to get gas. I am going to wrap up my journal entry for the day. I will be doing more later. I am sure of it. We'll see how much of it gets posted. And with that said, I hope everybody has a great day. And I hope you go out and live life to the fullest while you got it. Because nothing is guaranteed, ever. With that said, talk to y'all soon.